Hi, my name is Kedar and you're watching rptv. Welcome to the latest update of the Planning Committee meeting of the Regent Park Social Development Plan, where important decisions shaping the future of our community were made. In this video, you'll hear members of the Planning Committee as they discuss crucial topics like leadership roles, the ongoing SDP refresh, and how to ensure Regent Park residents are at the heart of the revitalization process. Stay tuned as the committee charts a path forward focusing on unity, transparency, and community-driven change. Now let's go to the video.
Yes, thank you very much. The first agenda items is election terms and dates of the co-chairs, which I'm handling, today. I just handed over to Brandy. Brandy, please, could you explain about these election terms and the dates of the co-chairs? Thank you.
Sorry, did you want me to pull it up?
Yes, you can just pull it up, and then your name is over there. So if you can just
Yeah, sure, no
yeah,
problem.
perfect.
1 second, let me just go into the drive. There we go.
Perfect. Yes. Could you please go for it? Would you like to explain about this?
Sure. So the election term ends on August 31st. So technically, as of August 31st, 2024, the election term year ended. So anybody that was elected in 2023, their term would have ended. So the periods of terms are for 1 year. And these are some of the start dates that we have. For some of them, a few of the members, I must say, were elected partially through the year and have not yet served a full term. So to begin with, the stakeholders tables group, we've got 3 names within this group. We've got Waleed, which is the RPNA TCH rep, and he filled in for Ismail Afar in 2023. And we're awaiting the status of 2024. So that would be dependent on whether he wants to run again, or if there is a need for an election, he does have the opportunity to run again, because I believe agency co-chairs have 2 years, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
so yeah, just to clarify, so yeah, the appointment was for 2 years. So after my second year, the RPNA board will either decide to keep me in that position or select a new rep.
So you can go past the 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't plan to, trust me. Don't have the time.
Well, okay,
I think maximum is 3 years, right? The maximum can be in a 3 round as a 3 years. That's a maximum.
This is for the co-chairs of the working group.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay, so we also have Gail. Gail is the RPNA market rep, and she stepped in until re-elections. It says September, but we know that the end of that year would be August 31st, so around the September deadline. And that was announced on on a planning meeting on May 16th. So we will be reaching out to Gail, as well as Waleed. I'm not going to take that as you not going past 2 years. I need to get an official statement if you're going to be running for re-elections, or if you're going to stay in that role. And again, we'd have to get clarification for Gail. I believe Ines has been on pause, so I don't think that we can make that decision at this place in time.
Yeah, so just for clarity, Ines was appointed by Tenants Council,
Okay.
which is a TCHC representative body of tenants, but there has been a change in representation of TCHC tenants to a much more centralized model. So we've always put this on the back burner, but we need to hear from TCHC on their new model of representation and how it will ensure there's Regent Park representation at this table. So that's still pending as an item. And then thanks for the reminder.
Perfect. And that's Ines, correct? Because I mispronounced it.
Yes,
I
Ines.
apologize.
Thank
Ines.
you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I see the hand of the Jewel and the Adonis. Would you like to go right now, or maybe after she finishes? Do you want to say something right now, the Jewel and Adonis?
I do, but Joe was first.
Yes,
ahead,
the
Joe.
Julie's first, yes.
I can do either. I can wait. Except for one small piece. It's Ines with the emphasis on the last syllables.
Ines.
Okay, thank you very much. Adonis, do you want to wait or you want to go
No,
ahead?
I'll go. There's no such thing as pause that I know of. There's nothing in the terms of reference that says you could pause. So whether she paused or not, her first year term ends in September, like August 31st, like everybody else. So I don't know what you want to do with that, but first year ends August the 31st, and we don't know her status going forward.
Thank you
But
very
I don't
much.
think we should say pause since June. It just confuses everything.
All right. Could you please just,
You could
note
say,
it down?
yeah, I
Yes.
guess you can make a note that she no longer attended or whatever she want, but basically her term ended August the 31st, and her status going forward is unknown.
All right. Could you please mention, Brandy, the date that the Adonis has mentioned?
Mhm.
The August 31st?
Yep,
Yes.
August 31st is listed on the page.
Thank you.
No
Perfect.
problem. And if you
Okay.
want, I can inquire for you and update you on that status, everybody on that status.
For sure, if you can do that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just go ahead, please. Thank
All
you.
right, so the working group co-chairs, we have Nasheen.
Sorry, Brandy, just a thing. It's not, first of all, I guess we have to decide if that's the TC council chair, if we're going to continue that. So I don't think there's a decision with that. And secondly, it's not her that you contact. It would be TCHC that would have to be contacted, the chairs, to see if they want to appoint another one. So, and it has to be in that order. First, we have to decide if we are going to have a tenant council, considering that there is no tenant council. And then once we decide, then we reach out to TCHC and ask who they would like to have their rep.
So if there's no tenant council, I don't understand.
Hello?
Yes, Michael, you go ahead if you have any questions.
So, all right, there has been some discussion about co-chairs of working groups. This is the first I've heard that we are going to reopen the question of TCHC council co-chair, but I'll put that in the notes. I just wanted people to know that that's a new request to discuss that item.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thanks a lot. Get back to the Brandy, please.
Yeah, okay, so for the EED co-chair working group members, we've got Nasheen Noreen, which is the TCH rep.
Sorry, my love. That's Hashem Nurin. Hashem.
So sorry.
No, it's
Hashem.
fine. Yeah,
My
Hashem
apologies
Nurin.
for the mispronunciation. And then we've got Colin. I'll stick with first names and avoid making a mistake on the last name. This is our market rep. We've got Elena, TCH, and these terms all began mid-year, April 16th, 2024 to present. So I guess just to highlight this part, I believe how I'm like trying to wrap my head around this is, even though they didn't serve a full term, their term still ended August 31st, or is it that they stay in the role and as long as no one else wants to run, then they would get to continue on for the next year, correct?
Oh, anybody would like, to speak out? Actually, I spoke to Fatima. Fatima said this type of election is not including AED because we have started very late, and the period it will go till the next year, and no need for the re-election or maybe even consider it. So that's the result that I have got it. But if someone else has something else to put up, or they want to, contact the Fatima, most welcome to do that. I see the Sarah Jane hands up. Sarah Jane, would you like to say something right now?
Why are there two TCH representatives there?
Adonis, would you like to speak
Wait a
on that?
I'm still talking. What?
Please go ahead.
there's Hashim and you are both TCH representatives. I thought there was just supposed to be one TCH and one market. And then one agency. So one of those might be an agency? No, that's.
No, it's not the agency. It was a selection that it has comes to the tie in the type of a selection, and they have decided to keep both. That's the reason, Sarah Jane. And
okay.
Yes, Michael, you would like to go ahead first, and then Adonis, please. Michael,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
like, yeah, on that last point, the terms of reference says at least, so the number could be more than 2, and then they had a very good reason for doing that as well. So that's why it was done, and that's completely in accordance with the terms of reference. The other thing about not having an election this year, I think that's very appropriate for this situation. I don't see why they wouldn't just go for a year and a half. So I'm okay with that. I just feel like the process by which that came about was a little strange. I don't know if the working group itself discussed that and decided on it, or was it just one person's opinion or whatever. I would have approved the same thing, but I just hope that the working group itself made that decision.
Adonis, would you like to say something, please, to this?
Yeah, notwithstanding Michael's point, which is fine. Then if that, can we, based on that decision, however it was made, can we move it from present to August 31st, 2025 instead of present?
Everybody agree with that? Please show your agreement. Yeah. Thank you, Veli. Anyone else?
Well, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Kedar. Jewel, thank you. And Miguel, Gail. Welcome, Gail. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay. What is the question, please, if you can clarify?
Yes, Adonis has asked if we can change the present that it has put for the EED co-chairs to the August 31st, 2025 instead.
And if I could add, Brandy, that should be all. If we have decided anyone is present, we should just change the date so that everybody knows August 31st, 2025. Yeah. That would be more clear than what we have it now.
All right.
Thank you.
I hope we answer, the Gail questions, right, Gail? Thank you. All right.
Yeah, but does that not create again back to an even, or does that bring it to all of the same dates for all of the co-chairs?
All the same.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, because the selection, it was on the same day. The end, it would be on the same day. Thank you very much. Back to the Brandy, please.
Okay, so we have Haesung, which is an agency co-chair, and Haesung has completed their full year. So we will have to reach out and find out, so if we're not having an election, we would just assume that she's carrying on this role, correct?
What is her agency?
That's a YSM, Sarah Jane.
What?
She is in YSM. She is in YSM, Young Street Mission.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Put that in so people know YSM there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely we can just send a email to them for the verifications, and then the next agenda we can next planning committee we can discuss about it and give the information to all the team members.
Okay, so do you want me to, sorry, just so I'm clear, I'm going to be contacting, since we're not having an election, anybody that wishes to remain in their same position that they're in right now, as long as they don't want to leave, then I would just be rolling over them to the next year, as long as they're not at that 3-year mark, correct? and that they want to be.
I think
remain.
Adonis would like to add something about this. Please go ahead, Adonis.
Well, Brandy, that's the decision of the working group. That's not their, unless they state otherwise. It should be just, if they had elections on April 16th, they all should go to August 31st, 2025.
Oh, I didn't mean for the first three. I meant
For the high sync. Yeah, for the high sync.
Yeah,
for the one.
hasn't
Okay,
too.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
But that doesn't go for the other working groups, right? That's just that group.
Yeah, we are going, one by one towards the working groups. The first one, it was the EED working groups. Now the second one, it goes to the communication co-chairs. Yeah.
Okay, so now, can I continue, Elena?
Yes, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Now we are on communication co-chairs. We've got two. We've got Murshida, which is a TCH tenant, full year, and Adonis, full year.
So again, I think I gave you the exact dates and when we came into the term, Brandy.
Correct. I have that document. I can open it up and fill that in. Before we leave this meeting, I'll update that for you.
Okay, and that should go, yes, to August 31st, 2025.
Yep.
Okay.
For both
Thank
of
you.
those.
And welcome, Murshida. Okay,
The
go
importance
ahead.
of that date.
Thank you.
The importance of that date is to let everyone know it would be our second year, like this was the first year, and now the August 31st will be the second year. So that would be the end of our terms. That's
Okay.
why those dates are important.
Yep. I'll make a note of it here and add that in.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
please go ahead. Yeah, Sarah Jane, the next group are the safety co-chairs.
Yep.
Go ahead, Brandy. Thank you.
Yep. So we have Haja. I hope I pronounced that right. Hajia, which is our TCH tenant, and they have completed their full year, as well as Leonard Swartz, and he is also completed his full year as of August 31st, 2025, and we'll assume, as long as they want to continue, that they'll be moving, staying on into their roles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sarah Jane, next groups and committees would be the community building co-chair, the last group. Thank you. Go ahead.
The last group, so community building co-chairs, we've got Fardosa, TCH tenant, full year, Rabia, market tenant, full year, and Joel, agency. I will add YSM. I believe everybody knows, but we'll add it anyways. And he has also completed a full year as of August 31st. And with no need for an election, I believe he is continuing on. Correct, Joel?
Yeah, did you, you had a hand up at the starting of the co-chairs, discussion. Would you like, to go ahead right now?
No, I'm just going to respond. Yeah, so we in our meeting, we said that the two residents, Fardosa and Rabia, said they would go for another year. I said I'll go for 6 months, and I'll be looking for a replacement in the meantime. And the reason for that is that I've been in the position for many years now, and especially as we're tightening up our processes for term ends and so on. I think it's good for me to make a renewed effort to find a replacement for me.
All right. Thank you very much. I can see the Miguel has put he's showing his interest that I would like to be a co-chair at the RPSN. So anyone can just provide some information to him or to other members of the. Sorry about that.
Can you scroll down so we can see more?
That's it. There's only 4 working groups.
Yes, but can't see them. Okay.
Okay, did you want me to?
Okay, now I know. So
I can increase the size if you'd like.
no, I can see.
Okay.
I couldn't see all 4 groups, that's all.
Oh,
So RPNA, Miguel wants to become a co-chair of the RPNA, is that right?
yes, correct.
Okay,
Safety, of
that's
safety.
not a group, it's not on there.
No. I think there's a misunderstanding. He's saying RPSN, so there's a Regent Park Safety Network.
Yeah.
And the safety network, we have Hadja and Leonard.
Okay,
And
I
the-
get it.
Yeah, the terms are supposed to be actually ending August 31st, 2024, not 2025.
Oh,
So they haven't opened up nominations yet, so that should be corrected on the Excel sheet, please. Thank you.
Okay, that's passed already, so.
So Brandy, oh, sorry, my hand.
Sorry about that. Just, give me a moment. I have to send the link to Hashem. Hashem would like, to join us. He doesn't have the link. Let me, can I request, Walid, you send the, link to him?
Yes, I can. I put it on the
Thank you
WhatsApp
very
group,
much.
but I'll send it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And just, let him know. Thank you. All right. Okay. Brandy, if you
Yeah.
finish it, or just you are, yes. Are you going to?
did you want me to go down or stop sharing or?
Yeah, you can stop sharing if you have finished. Oh, okay. I see the Adonis hands. Please go ahead, Adonis.
Yeah, so with regard to Miguel, that has to be addressed at the safety committee. That's not, it shouldn't be indicated here as it's not a formal vote. So Miguel, you have to raise that at the safety committee. And Brandy, you just said just prior to this that both of them were gonna go forward for another year.
Correct. I believe nobody expressed interest in vacating. Joel said that he,
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about Leonard and the other person,
Hadja.
Hadja.
they have not expressed any desire to leave. And I believe without an election, I assume they were gonna continue to the next year.
Well, okay, but that has to be a safety committee
Yeah.
Okay.
decision, not just their decision. So that I think that needs to be raised with them. That that they should make a decision. The whole committee should make a decision about that before we carry them forward formally.
Will do. I'll reach out to them and let them know.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Brandy, could you please, share the agenda once again?
Yep.
Thank you.
Where is it?
I just want one clarification with Gail, since she just came up.
Please go ahead.
Gail, your term, I think your half-year term, I believe, ends August 31st of this year, 2024. And you have a opportunity to continue at the discretion of the RPNA, I believe. It's appointed, that's an appointed position. And I just want to know if you will be putting your name forward again, or what your status is at this point, if you know. Like if you intend to stand again. Just want to
Yeah,
know.
I think those are RPNA conversations, and yeah, so maybe that should go there, and if we have an admin, you can email admin and take it from there. I don't think anybody should be here talking on behalf of RPNA. We don't even have co-chairs for the organization. So, we're just representing at the SDP. So let's do that, because we are in the middle of some things.
Great, okay, I just wanted to know what your intention
But
is.
yeah, admin at.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, both. Now, did you?
Well,
Please go ahead.
that sort of answers the question I had, but maybe I think I think it'd be reasonable, like RPNA is meant to have two co-chairs of the stakeholders table. So when RPNA, and I think we had expected to know about what was going to be happening in September, and which is fine if it's taking a little bit longer, not a problem.
And quickly stepping out to Debbie.
Do we have the RPNA on the screen somewhere? Because it's cut off.
Oh, it is not cutting off. I'm not sure because we are in a half page, Sarah Jane. We are in a half page and we are scrolling up and down to just see the agenda. If you can see, we are going, you know.
I don't see RPNA and the people there is what we're talking about now. I don't see it on the screen.
No, they wanted to just, you know, answer the question, you know, for the Gail as well as the Miguel, but we do not have it over here right now. There is nothing, you know, about to see. Yeah.
Well, who's on the RPNA now? Who's representing the RPNA now? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Waleed and Gail.
Okay, thank you. I don't see that.
Adonis, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what, Brandy, you could remind me what we have for agency chair, but as you know, there has been a change. And I believe, well, I would just leave the agency chair for the SDP as vacant for now.
All right, thank you very much. And Miguel has raised a hand and he asked a question, what is the status of the third co-chair of the SDP?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Miguel, please.
You just heard my question.
I just
Yeah,
answered
anybody?
it.
Yeah, that's, yeah, of course.
Do I have an answer?
Thanks,
Maybe you
Miguel.
can answer that question, Elena.
Pardon me?
Maybe you can answer that question.
The third co-chair of the SDP?
Yeah.
I think, you know, the already Adonis has replied that, you know, and I'm not sure, you know, for the third one, maybe they can have another recruitment or maybe selection for the third one.
Yeah, I could clarify if you like.
Yes, please go ahead.
Lydia from YSM.
Before you do that, Waleed, did you invite Felicia White to explain to the SCP table planning about the status of the Regent Park Tenant Council? Remember that she was supposed to come and give us a presentation on the status of the Regent Park Council, Regent Park Tenant Council, but that doesn't exist no more. That has ceased to be active. It's not any longer active in Regent Park. It's my understanding.
Yes.
But go ahead, Adonis, please provide us.
Adonis, please go ahead, and then
hello?
Walid. Walid has a hand up. Michael, you can go after the Adonis and Walid. Please just wait.
If anyone wants to respond directly to that, I'm okay with waiting, but I was speaking about the agency co-chair for the SDP. So I'll leave that until this situation.
Yeah, thanks, Adonis. I agree with Adonis's assessment that your status is unknown. We'll wait.
You are cutting off, Walid. I'm not able to hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll say that again. My apologies. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can you hear
please
me?
go ahead.
Yeah, I said I agree with Adonis's assessment with regards to the agency co-chair that should be left vacant for now until the ED network decides who to appoint in that role. With regards to the query that Miguel has made, I think Adonis also answered that question earlier, that we have to determine first as a planning committee on whether we will have representation of a third resident co-chair from a group that doesn't exist. And yes, we can create a platform through the planning committee for TCHC to address that, to inform that decision, because that decision's been made by the planning committee and will have to be validated by the stakeholders table at our next stakeholders meeting. That's what our terms of reference say. It means it will require change in the terms of reference. So I will, thanks for the reminder, Miguel, I will follow up with Felicia just to remind her that that's something that's pending. But for now, we're just giving everyone an update on the status of the elections. But thanks for that friendly reminder.
Thank you, Walid. Yes, Michael, you go ahead, and then Miguel, if you would like, to
Okay.
emphasize on whatever you mentioned.
Okay, so now, like these two positions are being discussed, but as of the present point in time, they still exist. It may take us a couple more months before we either change something or keep them. So we're sort of operating under the assumption that they may disappear, and that may even be a valid assumption, but those two positions still exist. As far as like what the TCHC is doing now, I was under the impression that they had replaced the Regent Park Tenant Council with a wider area tenant council, and that they still could, if we wanted to keep that position, appoint somebody through that larger body, but still representing Regent Park. So I wasn't aware that something had happened that would make it impossible to have that position. So it's still up to us whether we want it or not, unless Felicia can confirm otherwise and tells us that there's just no council whatsoever anymore. So maybe for sure we do need to hear from Felicia or someone from TCHC.
Thank you very much, Michael. If no one has any comments on this, we are going to the next agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, Adonis, please go ahead.
Just to follow up on Michael's comment, I think it's not enough just to talk to Felicia, but also if we decide that's the case, as Michael said, I think we should ask what their process is for electing, if we're going to go with TCHC, the tenant chair representing Regent Park, what the process will be for electing such a chair or appointing such a chair.
Thank you very much, Adonis. Anyone else has any comment? All right, no one?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Miguel, please go ahead. I didn't see your hand, but please go ahead. No problem.
Is this third chair appointed person currently on a leave of absence? Is that correct?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so
No? Yes or no?
that person is on leave of absence. We need to discuss. Are you returning back? Would you like to continue? Or you would like to continue helping us out? Or I don't know. But as far as I understand, the town hall meeting of Christmas, I heard a lot of charges against the SDP by one single individual. And it was very distressing to hear all the negativity about the SDP. And you guys need to know that. It was very sad that our efforts, our hard work, it was all destroyed in 10 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Just, pointed to your concern. We had a meeting at 1:30 to 3 p.m. And today we have discussed a little bit about this point, that why such a thing is happening, and what it could be our strategy to really go ahead with that and tackle these problems. And definitely, I'm sure the SDP group will come up with the very good solutions, and they will inform to everyone to participate in that point. Definitely in future, we will not face such a things. I can see the Gail hands is up. Please go ahead, Gail, if you have anything to say.
Yeah, we just have to be careful because we've had other co-chairs who have taken some time off for their own reasons. And so we can't pick and choose who we want to apply this rule to, right? So maybe the discussion needs to be one of our planning meetings where we kind of talk about if someone, we're supposed to be doing terms of reference. So if someone needs to step away, what does that look like, and all these things, right? That would be a better way of going about this than trying to pinpoint one person. But I think, and then you can't stop residents from saying what they want to say in a public forum, right? They could be a part of the SCP or not a part of the SCP. They can still decide they can say whatever they choose to say, whether right or wrong. That's their right.
I disagree.
Thank you very much, Gail. Anyone else would like to add something?
No.
Thank you, Miguel, for the comments. Appreciate it. If not, we are going to the next agenda, which is discuss the answers of the city by the Miguel. Miguel, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. I don't know. This item came first without the other item on the agenda or parking lot, which is the resourcing the technology education for residents of Regent Park to understand Zoom applications or bots. Those bots that our sister Sarah Jane requested that we postpone last week because she had to attend a religious holiday, and she does have also a opposition to the use of bots. But anyway, I'm very upset at the way they communicated these replies to the answers without announcing it to the rest of the community. They used the town hall of Christmas to release this information. There was a low attendance of residents, TCHC and market residents. I counted with my fingers that day. And the most number of people were in attendance is staff or the city. So, because I really need to meet with SDFA staff to go through all these answer to the questions from July, because in July, as you all aware, we were shocked to get only empty blank cards where you can put down your questions about the SCP refresh. So I'm not satisfied with the replies we have received. So maybe we can start developing answers back to each card that we have received.
Thank you, Miguel. That's it.
And seek
hello.
a meeting to engage with SDFA staff.
All right, perfect. You are done, Miguel?
Yes, I am done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The hands of the Gail, and of course the Adonis has just hands down, and then Valid, and then Michael. You can go ahead, Gail, please. Gail? Yes, please go ahead if you have the hands up. Okay, we are not able to hear you, Gail. I'm not sure why. Maybe we can go to the Valid and then come back to the Gail. Please go ahead, Valid. Thank you. And then Michael.
Yeah, I think the best way we could have a discussion is create a space for a town hall and then invite the SDFA. So I think we can book us, the Regent Park Community Center, invite SDFA to have a discussion that's focused on community needs related to the SDP refresh. I know that at the last town hall, there was more like a report back on the work of the consultants. And then we had questions posed in writing. So we didn't have a discussion. And I think what we could do is work on a letter making that request. So if we could make a decision on this item, maybe Gail, myself, as the remaining co-chairs of the SDP stakeholders table can send a letter through Brandy.
No. No.
Sorry, I'm putting forward a proposal. Please don't interrupt me, Gail.
Yeah, please, Gail, just,
yeah,
raise your hand, I will give you the time to
Sorry,
speak.
I was interrupting the fact that my name was being used. That was it. I think if we
I'm
just say co-chairs, it might be better.
I'm not using your name. I'm naming the co-chairs of the stakeholders table. Okay. So I'm going to put forward the proposal, which is we make a decision to host a community discussion that will inform the findings of the SDP refresh. This is a decision of the planning committee, and then we will carry it out or communicate that appropriately through the SDP coordinator. And if there is consensus or support from it from SDFA to have that discussion, we can meaningfully address the concerns of residents or the feedback from residents related to the SDP refresh. So it's a discussion. So I just feel that the last town hall left a really bad taste in people's mouths. People were trying to have a discussion, they were shut down, and that really resulted in a very poor turnout in the last council town hall. So I think it's important for us to create a safe space for dialogue, and yeah, that's my proposal for us to make a decision on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Walid. Michael, you can go ahead, and then Adonis.
Okay. So I support that as long as we don't get caught up in asking the city questions and we can find out what people actually think about this. Because I've put forward that question multiple times at the strategic planning meetings, and I've got a few, but very few answers. So maybe 3 or 4 comments about the refresh report that are not questions. So it's a start, but so far I have more of my own comments than everybody else's combined, because I kind of just skipped the question phase and went straight into comments. So I hope that if we do hold a meeting, you know, whether the city wants to hear it or not, or whatever, we need to hear from people about what they think. So I hope that's going to come out from the meeting, if we have such a meeting. And if the city, you know, wants to hear that, that's great, but we need to hear it in any case.
Thank you very much, Michael. Adonis, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think we have to take initiative by putting forward our vision of the SDP first before we have such a meeting. To me, it doesn't make sense that we're just criticizing. Well, that's why we're doing a strategic planning, is to ensure that we have a vision, and hopefully that vision will be ready in the next couple of weeks. First, we do that vision and we invite our stakeholders table around that vision. And then we question the city about their vision and get them to respond to our vision rather than the opposite.
Thank you very much, Adonis. Gail, please go ahead. Gail?
Yes, please. Great idea. It would take some planning certainly to create a safe space. We've also heard from the members of the planning table. So to Michael's point, if we're doing this because we want to hear from people who don't come to the planning meeting, whose voices we don't hear all the time, rather than those voices being the ones that are talking, and then we kind of go through the same cycle again. Because we've had every opportunity at these meetings, we've had every opportunity with the city to tell them how we feel. So if we're looking for other voices, then, but I'm just not understanding how we go from, we asked them for the answers, they sent the answers, we just got the answers, we haven't gone through the answers, but we want to make the next move. So yeah, that's what I'm understanding.
Thank you, Gail. Walid, please go ahead.
Yeah,
and then Miguel.
I'm gonna withdraw my proposal. I think the proposal that Adonis made after the strategic planning process complete, that outlines our vision of what the next reiteration of the SDP should be, I think is the best way to approach that discussion, because that will also allow us to see what the recommendations are from the SDP refresh. What do residents think about those recommendations and how should they be applied in the future reiteration. And I think that'd be a great opportunity to merge the process or bring them together. So I 100% support Adonis. Thank you so much for your wise recommendation.
Thank you, Walid. Even
hello?
I support, both of you. Michael, just please say Miguel has a hand, and after the Miguel, you go, Michael. Thank you. Miguel, go ahead. And then the Jewel.
Okay, Walid, I support that as well, to meet with SDFA, share our vision, hear their vision. I can tell you one thing right now, after speaking to John Smith, our visions do not align with each other. They have a different approach. It's super influenced by gossip, by bad stories about the SDP, bad experiences that people have experienced, from bullying to harassment, and all these things that are easily to be resolved if we have the help that we have asked to the SDFA. Provide us with the tools for conflict resolution and mediation. So these disagreements that it happens from time to time are resolved separately. And I know we have a culture of change of the SDP, but we don't have the money, my friends. So who had to cut off the money for all these mediation processes has to come from the city. And as you know, and the SDP refresh, they take ownership of these discussions. In other words, they want to be the guide of the SDP refresh for years ahead. So if they are willing to do that, okay, fine. Find money to facilitate conflict resolution and mediation so that we can minimize the ongoing. Yes, I used the word trash. I used the word trash. That was my whole conclusion of what I heard at the town hall meeting of Chris Moles. At the end of it, I was so ashamed of being a Regent Parker because all of our efforts and sacrifices that we have made were burned in a few seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. Michael, go ahead, and then Jewel.
Oh, hello?
Yes, please, Michael. We can
Okay.
hear you. Go ahead.
All right. So there's a lot of sort of feeling out there that the city is in the driver's seat and that whatever they decide in their refresh, we have to do. But I think they have as little control over us as we have over them. So rather than seeing this as they are deciding, we should see it as that there is a kind of non-alignment, but there are still two parties to this. And we can proceed as we wish. And it's as much their onus on them to come to the table and agree with us as it is for us to just follow whatever they put forward. So hopefully we don't fall into the trap of kind of putting forward something, then they put forward something different, and then we just think they're more powerful, so they do so we do what they want. That's what I'm afraid of. Is that just in our minds we feel like we have to do what they say, even if we actually don't have to do it. So I'm okay with like this not being the next step. But the reason I'm a little concerned is that if we don't sort of go in early and try to find a common path on our own, we might find that we put forward something and then they just say, but it has to be different from that. And then it's just a staring match, and then we blink first. That's what I think is going to happen on some issues. Hopefully not on too many, But if we want to proceed with let's finish the strategic plan first, that's fine. I mean, but I'm just saying there's a risk that if we haven't sort of managed the differences between the two, that we might just end up caving even after we've put forward our strategic plan. So I'm just putting that forward as a danger, and I hope that doesn't happen, and let's go ahead and finish the strategic plan, which I think we're actually now quite far along. We've discussed almost all of the issues, so we can get it moving quite quickly now, I think. But hopefully, whatever we decide, that we also think about how are we going to actually sort of stick handle it through whatever negotiation process happens. And also, most importantly, that we don't give in on something that we actually don't have to give in on. For instance, like the way we organize our committees and stuff, you know, even if the city doesn't agree, we can just go ahead and organize them however we wish. Like, that's not their choice. So I hope we keep that in mind and don't fall into a trap of thinking we have to do it their way on matters that we don't. I mean, there's some matters we will have to do it their way if we can't agree. But let's not like reduce our own power to lower than it actually is.
Thank you, Michael. Jewel, please go ahead.
I think it would be good for us to identify as we go through whatever we go through to try to prepare some kind of a common voice, that we identify the things that we don't have much leverage over, and that we don't try to have leverage over them. And then if we, you know, and that we also identify areas that we think we do have more leverage. And I also think that ultimately, like, we continue to have this kind of two parallel processes happening. The city is also organizing community meetings, and we should keep that in mind as we plan whatever we plan. And ultimately, I think if we want to be operating in the benefit of the community, the thing that we should be aiming towards is that these somehow come together into one process again. Otherwise, the community, like, we don't want to have to create a situation where people from the community have to sort of choose which community-wide kind of entity they want to align with. That's not good for the community. And I don't see a clear way through that, but that's the goal that I would aim towards, which, you know, I think I've said that before. But I would hope that we could, as we think about, you know, maybe it is a good idea to say, when the strategic planning is done, take it to the stakeholders table, but understand that that's our ultimate thing that we got to get to. We got to get to a place where we can find the common ground that we can and be working all together for the community.
Thank you very much, Joel. I would like to add that all the points that all of you have mentioned is absolutely correct and to the point, especially the point that Michael has just brought up, that we should not, you know, put before, you know, something before them that is empower them through the, you know, SDP. So you have to go very strategically and decide among the SDP group that how this matter it should reach to them. There will be a one way that you ignore everything, whatever they say, let them say, and just we do our best, we get the best result. Or if you want to just stand in front of those that they really go against the SDP, find out the resources that it's happening, and then strategically go ahead step by step that what we have to do to avoid the empowering the others towards the SDP, as well as we get and reach to our goals through that path. So if anyone else has something, you know, to add up, please go ahead. Yeah, I can see the Brandy's hand. Please go ahead, Brandy. Thank you.
I see other hands. Gail, Did you
The,
get?
the
your
girl,
chance?
I think, no, the girl, I think it was from the starting, it was up and she did not put it down. But
Okay.
girl, if you want to, say something, go ahead, no problem. Otherwise, the Brandy can go. Okay, the girl has just put on his hand. Brandy, go ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to have ask a question and maybe get some follow-up. Since the STFA released the refresh report, was there any meeting between the SDP and the STFA to actually go over what that meant? Like, we know what it says, but have we broken it down? Because the reason I asked that is because I think somebody mentioned this in the earlier meeting, that a lot is based off assumptions, a lot is based off belief. And if we have mistrust, if we have strained relationships, we might not be looking at it with a great, a fresh lens. And maybe can't we request a sit down and get them to go through the refresh with us? Like, they got to be able to provide examples. And I think that, I know we're preparing, our strategic plan. But I think a fear of that is it doesn't align with their vision, theirs doesn't align with ours. And because we have strained relations already, that might put us in another position where things are intense and we create more conflict. Like, can't we ask for a sit down where the refresh is fully explained and the changes, so that while we're developing our strategic plan, we can get some information that can go in, like some useful information that can help? Or that's like a
Thank you,
question and a
Brandy.
wrap up. So
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Brandy. I just want to remind everyone that we have 15 minutes left. So Strata, please end on time. We have to still talk about the stakeholders table fall. But Brandy, to answer your question, that was my original proposal, is for us to have a sit down and discussion. But Adonis made a convincing case that that will not be beneficial if we've not done our homework and come up with our own vision through the strategic planning process. So that's why I withdrew my recommendation of having that sort of community meeting to discuss the responses with regards to the SDP refresh, the questions posed by residents, try to build consensus, because I see value in an approach where both our visions are discussed rather than just a reaction and response to the SDP refresh. And I think that time will come in the next couple of weeks. So I'll leave it at that. And I just want to ask Elena for the next item. Could we please defer this item, because we do have an SDP info session between 6 to 7 where that question can be posed to city staff. Thank you.
Hello?
You're on
Elena,
mute.
Okay. All right, so,
sorry, Elena, you're muted. You're facilitating. Just want to let you know you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, Michael, yeah, can you go ahead just for 1 minute? Because we
Okay.
have to
All
go
right.
to the next agenda, yes, items.
All right, so, I would just be very careful not to ask the city for a meeting where the primary purpose of the meeting is for them to explain themselves, because that just gives them a chance to dig in their heels even further and say, this is not negotiable, that is not negotiable, we're explaining it, this is how it's going to be. So once we actually do get to the point of having a meeting, I think it should be much more along the lines of what Waleed was saying, where we're more interested in hearing from the community, and the city can hear it because they're there to attend, but mostly to hear.
Thank you, Michael. Due to the time restraint, I'm going to the next agenda items. I read it, and then the floor is open for the discussion. Each working group needs to select a representative to serve on the grant review committees. Expect to receive a working group responses by the next planning committee meeting. Now the floor is open, to speak out. Waleed, please go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I want to defer this item to a future meeting because we have an info session at 6 o'clock with city staff, and we'll pose that question and report back to the planning committee.
Perfect. Then would you like, to put the rest of the agenda item for the next
Only,
meeting, because we
yeah,
have
the
only
only
10
item,
minutes that maybe
yeah, the
they
only
would
item
like.
that we have, the only item that we have next is the stakeholders table meeting for the fall. So I do
Right.
want to propose a date for
Perfect.
discussion. We don't have to make a decision today, but at least
Okay.
we can make a decision by the next
Thank
meeting.
you very much. Yes, go ahead and just give your purpose, and Brandy, please mention, note down the date that they are proposing for the next meeting discussion, and then the Jewel, and then Adonis. Go ahead, please, Walid, for the date.
Yeah, so I want to propose that we have our next SDP stakeholders meeting on Thursday, November 21st.
Thank you very much. And then
but if
Jewel.
that doesn't work based on other people's schedules, please let's discuss it at our next meeting and hopefully make a decision.
You have mentioned June 21st, right?
Thursday, November 21st. So next month, the last week. So that's the second last Thursday. And we can have it at 5 o'clock. But I'm not putting a time. I'm just saying a date. So it's a placeholder because we do need like at least a month to plan the next SDP stakeholders table. And we also need to confirm with city staff our remaining budget for that meeting so that we could accommodate community participation through childcare, food, and other expenses.
Yes, thank you very much. Adonis, you have a hands up.
Yeah, I know we're gonna have a discussion soon about the representatives, but I just want to be clear that we have representatives. So I know that Murshida is representing the community workers, communications. Do we have representatives standing by for the other working groups?
Thank you very much. Sarah Jane, please go ahead. You are
muted.
muted, Sarah Jane. Please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay, are we supposed to react to that date? Because I'm not available till late in the day, so I don't know how we decide. You just picked it out of the hat, Waleed, or what?
Yeah,
It
so
was just a suggestion, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion, but we can change it, Sarah Jane. Thank you for letting us know you're not available. So we can maybe pick another date to be much more accommodating.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone else has any suggestion for the date for the stakeholder tables meeting? Yes, definitely it would be in the evening. Yes.
Yeah, we usually start registration at 5 o'clock and have the meeting from 5:30 to 7 o'clock.
I can do that if it's late in the day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah Jane. Okay, that's good.
Perfect.
That day is possible.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please go ahead. No suggestion?
Good.
Is okay. Do you want to discuss about this timing next time, or you want to just get the vote and make it a fix? Because I don't see any really against.
Yeah, if everyone, like, maybe just ask everyone thumbs up, thumbs down, just like it
Yes,
could be
please, thumbs
consensus.
up if
If that
anybody,
date works, then yeah, we can proceed.
or maybe you can mention it in the chat, please, all of you. Thank you very much. I appreciate. I don't see any thumbs up or anything. Kedar, are you agree with that? Brandy, Murshida, Shaz, okay, Levi, thank you very much for a thumbs up. Jewel, thumbs up, thank you. Murshida, for the date is okay.
Murshida is in disagreement.
Yeah.
Murshida is in disagreement. Murshida is what are the alternative date do you recommend?
What date was did we propose on the 20 something,
November
right?
21st, Murshida. November 21st.
Yeah, I have I have a work meeting, so that's the reason. I would say maybe Tuesday or Wednesday would be. Is there any other date?
So yeah, you could amend it. Do you want to recommend Wednesday, November 20th?
No, if it's everybody agree to it, I don't want to amend it. So it's just one person, right? So if it's any other date other than 21st, 21st and 22nd won't work for me. But any other day, it's fine.
There's an RPNA board meeting. We can push it to the other week if I want you to be there. I really want to make sure you're able to participate. So I'll change it to Wednesday, November.
Yeah.
That's my revised proposal, Wednesday, November 20th. Does that work better for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. Thank you, Marshida.
Adonis has his hand up.
Yes, hands up. Please go ahead, Adonis.
Yeah, just a suggestion for future voting. Maybe we should start with anybody objects rather than go through this process of everybody putting their hands up. And so if no one objects to it, then we can assume that it's a pass. I'm just thinking, yeah, because if we have 30 people in here to do that thumbs and chat, it's too much. Better
But
do.
they can, Adonis, there is a one problem. If they are not, showing their interest and thumbs up, in future, maybe they say, oh, okay, I did not raise a hand. I did not say anything. I didn't know. I was not, actually present in the meeting. So many things, it should comes up. That's the reason that thumbs up.
But can I
or just
interject that
writing down the
we
yes.
went through capacity building with Michael, and this is one of the ways that he taught us, and for the reason that Adonis is recommending. That is what we've been taught in terms of how we do consensus.
If
Yeah,
anybody agrees, no problem with me. We can just go ahead with those that they have objections.
Elena,
of course, the valid
I
one
want to
says
I want to
something.
revise it. I just looked at the SDP calendar. So there is an RPNA board meeting on Wednesday, November 20th. So I want to revise it to Tuesday, November 19th instead, because there's nothing on the calendar for that evening after 5 o'clock.
Okay, if anybody is agree, is fine. And those that they are not able, we can just maybe change it and discuss it the next.
So what is
meeting.
it now?
Tuesday, November 19th, 2024, from 5 o'clock.
Thanks for
Registration.
2024.
Sorry, November 19th, Tuesday, November 19th.
Okay.
All right. Just we have 4 minutes left. I'm giving these 4 minutes time to just go and jump to the another meeting that we have, or anyone want to go to the washroom. Yes, Gail, your hand is up. Do you want to say something before we wind up?
Yeah, I just would caution us. We had chatted before about having these meetings on the same day, just to get residents into that rhythm. So just something to consider. And then the closeness to Christmas. So just think about that as well. And maybe we can look at what did we do the last time we did it in the November, kind of what was that date that worked? That may be some things to look at.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Adonis, would you like to say something? I see your hand, but you are not. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
Yes,
well, let's settle the date first. My hand goes to the question I asked that I want to go for in to be ready for the next meeting is whether we have enough representatives from all the working groups that want to be representing the working groups for the application.
All right. So anybody would like to say something regarding the Adonis point?
No, let's handle the date. I don't think we made a decision about the date first.
Yes, about the date.
The stakeholders table we had, haven't we? November 9th.
I see a comment from Joel that we've had ST meetings on November 19th and November 27th in the past. So I'm recommending Tuesday, November 19th this year. So I think it resonates with previous meeting dates. So if we could just maybe ask for consensus, are we all comfortable with Tuesday, November 19th?
For the stakeholders
Yeah,
table.
and they said those that they are against, we are going based on their, suggestion. Those they are against, please just send a no, or maybe show the disagreement. That
Are
would
we
be good.
still voting on the stakeholders table?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Sarah Jane. About the stakeholder tables, November 19, it is on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Is it okay with everyone? Those they have Any problems or difficulties, please just come up with a no or maybe thumbs down.
Sorry,
Okay,
can I just, like I said, I do have a conflict on those dates, both of the dates, 20th, 19th and that. But like I said, everybody's agreed to it. I'm completely okay with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't see any thumbs down or any no on the chat, so maybe we can approve it for the November 19th, Tuesday at 5:30 stakeholder tables. It has been approved. Thank you
Well,
very much.
Joel has
Jules?
Well, just in case, I know Murshida, you're saying you're fine with it, but if you want to put out a different alternative, maybe people would be fine with a different alternative too.
This is our third alternative. Let's keep that in mind.
And sometimes try 3 things.
Murshida, please
Rashida?
help us.
Those 2 dates are the only conflict, but every other days I'm fine with it.
Are you okay with the 20? Okay, 20th.
How
you
about
said
27th? When is the 27th? There's no conflict there too.
Yeah, 27th is Wednesday. Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's just those 2 dates, 19th Monday, which is November 3rd week. Those 2 dates are a bit conflict. That's what I looked at in my calendar. But any other date, it's fine with me.
Okay, so can I then propose the 27th? If you're comfortable with that, Murshida? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with any other dates. Yes.
Okay, so I'm
Perfect.
putting it in the chat. Wednesday, November 27th. Okay. I guess we can.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Ask for
Ye-
consent.
Yeah, everybody is agree with that. Those that they are not agree, please thumbs down or show the no in the chat. Thank you very much. At this moment, I don't see. If anyone see any no or maybe thumbs down, please let me know because I have to just roll up and down, my screen to see everyone. Okay, I don't see any objection at this moment. All right, the next stakeholder tables, it would be on Wednesday, November 27th at 5:30. Okay, the Jewel has given the thumbs up. That's great. Thank you very much. I agree too. I don't see any objections. Sarah Jane has given the thumbs up. Morshida, thumbs up. Thank you very much. Kedar, thumbs up. I assume the others also are thumbs up that they are not speaking out. Perfect. Okay, it has been approved for the next STP stakeholder tables, fall 2024 on November 27th. And it is on Wednesday. Please just keep in your mind, it is on Wednesday. Thank you, Walid, for the thumbs up at 5:30 p.m. Thank you very much, all. All right, I think, it's the end of the meeting today because already the time is 5:32. We can just put the 2 more items as the, any request, for the agenda item for the parking lot, anything we have that we can put, or because we do not have the time, I suggest if any point that comes to your mind, please send the email to Brandy that Brandy can add it to the parking lot for the next agenda meeting, as well as the discussion about each working group needs to select the representative. Discussion would be for the next week for the planning committee. I request that Brandy put these 2 items for the next one, and anyone has any suggestion, reach out to Brandy, please, through the email. Write your suggestion, Brandy added to the parking lot. Thank you very much, all. Anything,
Thank you, Elena. I just want to say great job facilitating. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us and have a great weekend.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please follow us on our social media platform. For more information, you can check out our website.